Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is AHMADKHOLIL IZHAR. I would like to explain the coding to read the data from sensor BME280 in the IFTT Google Sheet. Okay, first and foremost, we need to import your request as request, library micro request, and import uTime as time as the library time to, with the micro time, and from machine import pin I2C, this is the connection of the ESP32, and library BME280 to import the library of the function sensor BME280. Okay, first and foremost, the SEL from the BME280, I will connect the pin to the pin 22 at the ESP32, and SDA in the BME280 to the pin 21 in the ESP32. Okay, for the output, LED red I declare output M, LED blue I declare output B, and LED white I declare output P. For the LED red, I connect the pin to the pin 2 at the ESP32, and the output LED blue to the pin 4 in the ESP32, and LED white I connect to the pin 5 at the ESP32. After that, this is the URL that I copy from the IFTT. So this is what we call the URL from the IFTT format with JSON, and this is a content type application JSON as a format, and I make a loop. So temperature Celsius I declare as C in the Celsius, and temperature Fahrenheit in the Fahrenheit, humidity and pressure reading. So after that, for the first condition, when the temperature is below 25 and equal to 25, the output M, which is the LED red, will be on, and the others will be off. And after that, from the temperature 25 to 30, the output LED red and LED blue will be on, and LED white will be off. And after that, all LED will be on when the temperature get 30 Celsius and above. For the format for the value, for value 1, this is format from JSON. Value 1 I put the temperature, value 2 I put humidity, and value 3 I put the pressure. And then for the time.sleep, this is the 5 second for the output, and the new data will be appear. So I will run the coding. And when it's successful, it will appear 200, and the response text is congratulations, you have fired the BME280 sensor reading event. This is the title of my project. So we can look at the data. When this is data, the data will appear at the Google Sheet. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you. Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is AHMADKHOLIL IZHAR. I would like to present about the coding from the ESP32 with the sensor BME280. Okay, this is coding. First and foremost, we will import the uRequest as request in the MicroPython for the function request, and import uTime as time for the MicroPython in the function of time, and we will take a pin I2C to connect the ESP32. Okay, I will import BME library BME280, and firstly the SCL in the BME280 I will connect to the pin 22 in the ESP32, and for the SDA at the BME280 I will connect to the pin 21 in the ESP32. Okay, for the output M I declare as the LED red, and output B I declare as the LED blue, and the output P I declare as a LED white. So LED red I'll connect to the pin 2 at the ESP32, and LED red I'll connect to the pin 4 as in the ESP32, and lastly pin 5 I'll connect to the LED white at the ESP32. Okay, this is a URL for the FAVORIOT, and the device ID and API key that I copy from the FAVORIOT. Okay, I will show it. I copy this device ID at the what we call apps of the FAVORIOT platform, and this is the device developer ID, and this is the API key, the access token. So after that, the temperature, humidity and pressure, I make it as a float. For the output is in the what we call sensor temperature, humidity and pressure for the BME280, and the temperature the output is in the Celsius and the in Fahrenheit. So this is a looping. For the first condition is below 25 and equal to 25, the LED red will be on and other else will be off. From the second condition is 25 Celsius to the 30 Celsius, the LED red and LED blue will be on and the LED white will be off. And after that, the third condition is when the temperature is 30 Celsius and above, all LED will be on. And this is the format of JSON for the value 1, 2 and 3. And for the temperature 2 as the Fahrenheit, in the Fahrenheit, and humidity and also the pressure. Okay, this is a request header, and this is the format of JSON, and this is a response request. Okay, for the boot.py, I'll connect SSID of my handphone and the password of my Wi-Fi, and this is the library of the BME280. Okay, so I will run the coding. Okay, still connecting. Okay, this is successful, and after that, Steam created is the format that is recording is in good condition, and I will look into the data. So we will look to the dashboard, and we will look the graph that are data sent to the FAVORIOT. Okay, this is data from the coding. In the data will be collected from the BME280 for the temperature, humidity and pressure. Okay, that's all from me. Thank you.
Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Fakri Syakirin YOSOF. I want to explain about the ESP32 with BEB34303 using YOSOF.NET platform. So I use import micro request as request, import micro time as time, and import pin I2C. And the last one, import BME280. So in the BME280, I put the pin for the SCL in the pin 22 in the ESP32, and SDA in I put in pin 21 in at ESP32. Next, my output is output M. I declare with LED red, output B LED blue, and the last one output P is LED white. So LED red I put in the pin 2 at ESP32, blue pin 4 at ESP32, and pin 5 is white. So I take the URL from YOSOF.NET web at this link, and the content type is application /JSON. I use temperature IST, H as humidity, and P as pressure. So I use float as to get the decimal number. For the result, I use the temperature in Celsius, temperature in Fahrenheit, humidity, and pressure. So if temperature in 25 below, the LED red is turned on. Next, for the temperature 25 until 30, the LED red and blue on. And the last one, if temperature above 30, LED red, blue, and white on. So BME280 sensor reading, I take the API key and I get from the YOSOF.NET API key, and I use value 1, value 2, value 3 as temperature, humidity, and pressure. So I show the function of this project. So the result of temperature is show at the terminal, and I show the graph at the YOSOF.NET. So I get the result of graph, temperature, humidity, and pressure. So that's all from me. Thank you. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. My name is Muhammad Fakri Syakirin YOSOF. Okay, I want to explain about how to use THINGSPEAK platform to get temperature, humidity, and pressure in ESP32 with BME280. So first thing first, I use the PY to get my network, that is my SSID name and my password. So I include the file BEB34303 data, and okay, first I put the library, import pin I2C, and next import micro time as time, import micro request as request, and the last one import BME280. So the THINGSPEAK platform, I get the API key THINGSPEAK from my THINGSPEAK account, and I declare the pin of BME280 and ESP32 SCL pin. I take in pin 22 at ESP32, and SDA I took the pin I took the pin 21 at ESP32. Next, I declare my output LED, which is output M at pin 2 at ESP32. Output M is LED red. Next, output blue as output B, which is I took in pin 4 at ESP32, and the last one, output P, is LED white, and I put the pin at pin 5 at ESP32 as pin out. So I used the float to get the decimal number, and T is temperature in Celsius, humidity H as humidity, and the last one P is pressure in HPA. So this is formula to calculation for Fahrenheit. So the display result of the unit is temperature is in Celsius, and Fahrenheit, humidity, and pressure. So the condition one is if the temperature below the 25 Celsius, the output M, which is LED red, is on, and the condition 2, if the temperature 25 until 30, the output M and B on, which is LED red and blue, and it is acceptable. So the last one, if temperature above 30, the 3 and all output LED is on, which is red, blue, and white. So if the temperature 80, the print show the hot and humid. So the reading of THINGSPEAK, the field 1 is temperature, field 2 is humidity, and the field 3 pressure. So the request header is I use application of JSON, and the last one, request post, I take the API THINGSPEAK URL at write data at this URL, and I use the API key body. So I want to show how the project work. So this is result of temperature in Celsius 31.0, and it refresh the result in 5 seconds. So next I want to show the graph in THINGSPEAK. So this is the graph in the THINGSPEAK, which is temperature, humidity, and the pressure. So that's all from me. Thank you.